Welcome back to another episode of the College Corner. I'm Amber, the creator of the Adulting Queen. I attended SUNY College at Old Westbury in Long Island, New York for my bachelor's degree in psychology and Hofstra University for my master's degree in higher education and leadership policy studies. I'm really excited today to have Jocelyn with us. She will introduce herself and then tell us a little bit about what she does in the world of higher education. And if you are in Baltimore specifically, this will be super helpful for you to know something that you can get involved with if you're looking to go to college. So Jocelyn, if you could just introduce yourself, your background, schools you went to, all of those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks so much for having me. So I am Jocelyn Loverling. I work for the CollegeBound Foundation in Baltimore City. Specifically, I am a College Access Program Specialist, or CAPS, since that's a really long name. And I work in partnership with one of our community-based organizations, Urban Alliance. So kind of how I got into higher education in this work, I studied writing. My degree is in writing from Goucher College, and I kind of got into higher education through the side door. I started working at a lot of different writing centers and ended up running the writing center at the University of Maryland, Baltimore, helping kind of future social workers and nurses and lawyers, finish their master's and doctoral work in relating to writing. That also led to some opportunities to teach. So I was an adjunct professor at CCBC, University of Baltimore, for several years, doing college readiness courses and, of course, English 101, Writing 101, those introductory writing courses. And I also did some dual enrollment and summer bridge programs with, Baltimore Design School, Kipper College, Code in the Schools. So I've been a little bit everywhere on all sides of higher ed. Yeah. And I'm super excited to be working for CollegeBound now, helping students figure out whatever it is that they want to do after high school, whether that's college, career, military, year of service, anything, trade, job certificate programs, all of that, just making sure that they have a clear pathway to whatever it is that they want to do with their future.
Perfect. Great summary. Yes, we do love the partnership working with Urban Alliance and CollegeBound together. You are super helpful in what you do with us. And can you just give a short description of what is CollegeBound and what are all the different aspects that it is bringing to Baltimore City schools?
Yeah, absolutely. So CollegeBound has been around for 36 years, and we only exclusively work with Baltimore City. That's something that's a little bit of like a misconception, but we are truly devoted to Baltimore students and have been for that entire time and will be for the future. And also sometimes people think like, oh, the name CollegeBound, like we only help students like if they want to go to college. But as I mentioned, like whatever a student's plan is after high school, we're here to help them as well. So we actually have several different departments related to college access. So we start as early as middle school. So we have our early college access program. So we have CAPS, people like me, in local middle schools throughout Baltimore City, but then also partnered with some other community-based organizations that work with middle schoolers, providing college access opportunities for those students. So everything from kind of having exposure to go on college tours, go to college fairs. We do a lot around kind of school choice as students are getting ready to go into high school, because that can kind of be the first step of where you go to high school can have a great impact on what you do after high school. So preparing students for that. Also, we have our Rising ninth grade seminar that's a part of that. So for students who are eighth graders getting ready to graduate, it allows their families to, and kind of figure out what to expect when they go to high school next year, and if they want to be on that college pathway, what are the things that they should be doing, like all 4 years to prepare for that. And then for students who are in high school, we of course provide many of the same services. We have one-day college tours, we have overnight college tours over spring break, where we'll just kind of take 4 or 5 days go and visit a part of the U.S. or Maryland, exploring different college opportunities. Again, we host our own college fairs. We take students to local and regional college fairs, provide that exposure to them. We have CAPS like me embedded within Baltimore City public high schools that serve as college and career advisors essentially for students to help them every step of the way, whether they're figuring out what their plan is for next year, exploring their interests, what they're good at, what they might want to do with their future, or if they're working to kind of build a college list, do college searching, applying to college, doing anything related to kind of like fee waivers, any aspect of financial aid, we can assist with that. We also, a huge thing that we do is we provide $4 million in scholarships every year to Baltimore City seniors who are applying, getting ready to go to college. And we have about 100 different scholarships in all sorts of different fields for students at different high schools, different interests, want to study, do different things that we give away every year. So there's that aspect as well. And then for students, once they're on their way out of high school, if they are pursuing college, we have our college completion program. So people, again, kind of like me in my role, but helping guide them through the college process. So for a lot of our students, they're the first in their family to go to college. So it can be tricky trying to navigate, what's my enrollment deposit? How do I get that in? How do I set up my housing? How do I kind of get along with my roommate? I need some tips for kind of studying or note taking or reaching out to my professor. Or, my gosh, I have to do the FAFSA again. Like, why do I have to do this every year? Could someone help me with that? Or I need some maybe like emergency or opportunity funding if I wanted to study abroad or help secure an internship, something like that. And our newest department is actually our strategic partnerships. So that's kind of even the beyond college, right? For students who graduate who are looking for internship and job opportunities, trying to pair them with those kind of real paid experiences that really can help launch their career, whatever that might be. So that was a huge overview of a little bit of everything at CollegeBound.
Yes. So a lot of great things, and basically it's only for Baltimore City school students. You start in middle school, you also have high school opportunities, and then when they're in college and graduating college, the college completion program is helping them through those things.
Mm-hmm.
So basically 5th grade, I believe, is when middle school starts in Baltimore City, or is it 6th grade? Whenever middle school starts and beyond, somebody in Baltimore City can get access and assistance from CollegeBound.
Yeah, and it's, sorry, I just want to jump in. So it's important to say, so the partnerships are either through schools that have partnerships with CollegeBound or community-based organizations that have partnerships with CollegeBound. But if you're a student or you have a student who does not attend a school where CollegeBound already is or does not participate in like a community-based organization program that's in partnership with CollegeBound, you can always advocate to bring CollegeBound to your school or organization. So we're always looking to expand, and we would love that.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. So all Baltimore City schools do not have CollegeBound, but if you are a student or family that would like to get access to the resources, you can advocate for CollegeBound to come to your school.
Yep, and there are certain things, like I mentioned, the Rising 9th grade seminar. We also have a Rising Senior seminar for juniors, when they're graduating, getting ready to their senior year. There are events like that that are citywide. So we make that known. We reach out to we will, actually reach out to every single Baltimore City public school student who's either, exiting the 8th grade or exiting their junior year to make sure that they know about our services. So there are things like that are available for everyone as well. And again, like the scholarships are for any Baltimore City student, regardless of whether or not CollegeBound at their school or their partner to the CDO.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Makes sense. And what resources are available? This is just overall for a high school student to pursue college that you think are important for them to know about.
Yeah, so we are really living in an age where there are so many resources available to you, almost to the extent that it can be overwhelming. So most students, of course, are aware of kind of College Board resources, so being able to do kind of career search, college search, the resources available for test taking with the SAT, ACT, all of those different things. But I think resources that students maybe think about less are all of those related to financial aid, and those are things that students really don't think about until their senior year. So being able to kind of familiarize yourself with all the resources available from federal student aid, preparing you for the FAFSA, or if you don't qualify for the FAFSA, familiarizing yourself with the NHAC One app and what's available through the state of Maryland. And also just kind of the different scholarships and grants that are available to students if they decide to go in-state in Maryland. So here, if you're a Baltimore City student looking at Maryland schools, there are real opportunities for you to really potentially qualify for a lot of aid, even more so than if you go out of state. There's also, of course, all sorts of different kind of college scorecards out there that really help you make comparisons of, what is kind of my return on investment, right? If I go and I study at a school, what kind of the graduation rate, how are students doing, are they getting jobs? There's also all sorts of different tools and search engines. The state of Maryland actually has one that I direct students to all the time, where you can type in a major and it'll let you know what schools in Maryland have that major, but then also for other schools out of state as well. And so I think it's really just figuring out your plan, who you are, what you want to do, what you want to study, what you want your career to be, and just make sure that everything aligns, right? Getting familiar with different schools, having the opportunity to kind of and visit them if possible, figuring out what makes a college or whatever it is you're doing after high school fit for you, what you're looking for. But then also, does it make sense for me financially? Does it make sense for my future? There are also so many resources related to scholarships that I think students like kind of sleep on, and they don't wait until they're in the middle of their senior year. They've already done a slew of applications. Now they're having to do these financial aid applications, and then they're having to do all their exams, all their fun senior stuff as well. And then they're trying to apply for these scholarships. But really, you can start applying for scholarships or researching that even in year 2-4. There are certain scholarships that you can apply to as a sophomore, junior, senior, and take that money with you. And there's also, I think, a lot of resources for kind of if students want to go, for example, to HBCUs, or if they want to go to an HSI, Hispanic Serving Institution, there are all sorts of resources related to those kind of special populations as well that students can tap into. So really, it's truly kind of like endless if you go out there and you do the research.
Yeah. And now I think that having the internet helps significantly because you can literally just type into Google anything that you're looking for and then obviously vetting what pops up. But I think that is super helpful because for us, I just remember like scholarship books or like having to go to like the school's office and like your guidance counselor's helping you. But the internet was not as robust as it is now to helping with finding the resources that you might be looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And that like brings up a great point too. So like when we were applying to school, like we would get the packets in the mail, right? You would either get like the small letter, which was like a no, or the big, huge like
Yes. Oh
acceptance
my
and all
gosh.
the
But
like.
I miss the letters. Oh,
Yeah,
they need to go back to mailing them. The email is not as fun. Get back to sending the mailed letters of whether you are accepted or denied.
yeah, absolutely. But I think that's also like a really underutilized resources. All the colleges have really robust websites now, or a lot of them do, with admissions criteria, with financial aid information, with
Yeah.
scholarship information through the institutions. And so also if you're a student, that's in applying to schools, they're going to take your email, they're going to take your phone number, they're going to text you, they're going to email you, all of that, but really making use of what schools are providing to you. Like
Yeah.
really they want to say yes to you, they want you to be able to afford it, they're providing you with opportunities, and so really focusing in on what are the schools that I think are right for me. I think a mistake sometimes students make is like trying to have, I'm going to apply to 30 schools, I'm going to apply to kind of like the
That's so
most type
many.
thing. Yeah, but really, if you have more of a targeted list of like 5 to 7 that you're really interested in, you're really considering, it's manageable, but then you're able to actually go through the resources at the school, make contact with the admissions office, financial aid,
Yeah.
scholarship department, and just really connect there and really invest in like what opportunities may be available to you.
Yeah, no, all that makes sense. And my sister, it was so funny. My little cousin is about to start, or she has started applying to schools already. My sister, we have an 11-year gap. I was talking to her, just like, oh, holidays coming. Let's help like our cousin with the stuff. She's like, oh, yeah, like we can print the FAFSA form and have them fill it out. I said, the FAFSA is no longer
We do it
paper.
online. Yep.
So FAFSA is all online. Can you print a copy to like look at it yourself and like go through? Yes, they will provide that, but submission is all through an online system. So that is for sure something that people should know, that it's all online.
Yes, absolutely.
And just lastly, you mentioned, and we know that this is only for Baltimore City school students. If your school has CollegeBound, and if they don't, you can reach out so that CollegeBound can try to come into your school. But how does somebody get involved if there's any specific criteria, application, outreach for a student or family member to get some of the CollegeBound resources?
Oh, so okay. So if CollegeBound is in your school or is connected with your CBO, simply find your CAPS, find your person like me. Hopefully, we are already reaching out to you. But if you're in a school, like we should have an office in there, usually in the guidance suite, where you can come and get connected. We send out newsletters to get connected to families. We build, our class lists and reaching out. We try to get contact information for students and parents and all of that. So it's very likely that we have been trying to reach you. But then if you're looking to bring CollegeBound in, maybe you've seen us at an event, you've come to the Rising Senior, the Rising 8th grade seminars, things like that. Just speak with any of the staff that are there, let them know that you know what school you go to, where you're attending. If you'd like to bring CollegeBound, it's usually if there's a demand, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of people like we really like to bring this, and we're able to have potentially conversations with administration about that. But you can of course go to our website. We're easily accessible online. We're also on all the socials, so Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of those different things. You can reach us as well, and for our staff as well. All of our contact information should be on the website.
Perfect. And then just from your experience as a student, as a teacher, working in colleges, is there anything else that you would like for listeners to know or something that you feel is just very important that can get overlooked sometimes when you're going through the college process?
Yeah, I think just pace yourself, right? It is like a journey. There are a lot of steps. Some of the things might be new. There's a lot of bureaucratic processes and things that are just kind of like, okay, what are we doing? How do we get through it? So it's a learning opportunity. Like, you've never done this before. Like, you're trying to take time to learn. Make sure you reach out to people who can support you. Don't get frustrated. Don't get overwhelmed. Just take all of it as it comes. And I think just as much as you can, try to make it a peaceful process for yourself. It's really easy to kind of get, with students that I work with all the time, I know that they're so exhausted from people asking, like, what are you doing with your future and all of that. It's like, it is okay if you're 17, 18, 16, 19, however old, and you don't know, right? It's really the straight path that someone is walking, and so you just kind of have the self-knowledge that you have now and about what you want to do, and you're doing your best to make good decisions for yourself, and you kind of follow whatever the next step is. And if you decide at any point, like, okay, maybe I want to try something else or make a different turn, just reach out for the support that you have. Like, trust yourself, trust your instincts, and just know that you're gonna figure it out. It's all right, and there's people there to help
for
you.
Sure. But thank you so much for coming on, sharing about CollegeBound, what you do, how you got there. If you all are listening and you're a student currently applying to college, a student currently in college, a family member, no matter where you are, what you're doing, please share this with somebody else that might need it. And in the comments, ask any questions or just drop any other resources or things that you might have so that people can utilize those. And again, Jocelyn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Huge fan.